Yes. One of our brother here has a question. The new guy here at the back.
Okay, go ahead. What's your question?
My question is that about this House of Judah Fellowship saying that we are Israelite, like, right? Okay, as for me, I'm a Christian. I came from a Christian home, and my father also is a pastor. I've been convinced by Mr. Michael, and he is my boss. But yet still, I'm not convinced that being an Israelite, in which way? That's the question usually asking. In which way am I Israelite? Because I've been convinced to join this group, but yet still
There's
I
some
have
doubt.
no,
Some
yeah,
doubt.
I have a doubt
Okay.
by joining this group.
So you
And I
want
need
to
it.
prove without a shadow of a doubt that you are a child of Israel.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We're going to start off with the Jewish man's word first, right? So, the Jew, the people who claim to be Israel, right?
The ones that are here, they are down.
They promoted this book. This is the Zondervan Compact Zondervan Bible Dictionary, right? It's widely used among Christians for edification as to the name. So you guys have the book there with you. Go ahead and turn to Ham. Go ahead and turn to the definition of Ham.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, on the definition of Ham, it says Ham, youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes, right? It says the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites, none of which, sir, you are. None of which you are. So that means that you must be these Negroes the scripture is speaking about, right? And Ham is not the father of these Negroes, right? Check this out. If Ham isn't the father of the Negroes, and you're a Negro, then who are you?
Yes.
Let's get it. Let's go to the only other people that are mentioned in ruddy, right? This is the definition of the word ruddy. It means a word used to refer to a red or fair complexion, in contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrews. So, if Ham is not the progenitor of if Ham is the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes, and the scriptures say that the Hebrews were a dark race of people, then that dark race of people, those Hebrews, must be the Negroes. Right? This isn't my word. This is Jews. This is Jewish work. This isn't me. It clearly says here that in contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrews. Now let me ask you this. What color are the people in Israel today?
White.
Dark skin. Do they have dark skin?
No, not at all.
Now let's see the color of that. We're gonna go to the next word that we're gonna go to is Niger. Let's look at the color of the prophets. What did they say the color of the prophets were? Let's look at that.
White.
They said that now we're going to look at the definition, right, of Niger, because when you go to Acts chapter 13, verse 1, it says that they were called Niger. Actually, pull up that scripture for me. I'll pull it up. We'll go there first.
Acts chapter 13 and 1.
We're going to go to Acts chapter 13, verse 1.
They were in the church.
Acts chapter 13, verse 1 reads, Now there were at the church of Antioch certain prophets and teachers, such as Barnabas, Simeon being Peter, that was called Niger, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Herod the Tetrarch, and Saul, right? And it mentions Paul as well. Saul is Paul, right? So, what does Niger mean? These prophets were called Niger. What does Niger mean? What is the word? What does that word mean? What does Niger mean?
Black.
It says black.
Yes.
The surname of the prophets and teachers which were at Antioch, Paul and Peter. Now, what does Paul say his nationality is? He says that I am a child of Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin. So if Benjamin was called black, and Peter, who was from the tribe of Simeon, was called black.
Black. The Israelites are black.
But if you want us to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt, that means we're at a shadow of a doubt now. We're going to prove beyond now. We're going to go beyond to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that they're black.
The way we handle the people out there.
Moses.
This is only.
Moses. Are you aware of the miracle when Moses stuck his hand into his vesture and plucked it out?
Turned into lepers.
All right. This is Exodus chapter 4, verse 6. I'm going to start at verse 5. That they may believe that the Most High, thy power of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, hath appeared unto thee. And the Lord said further more unto him, put thy hand in thy book, and put his hand and put his hand in his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. Verse 7. And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and he plucked it out of his bosom, and behold, it turned again as his other flesh. Now, let me ask you this. Leprosy, which turns the skin white, only happens to people of dark skin. Leprosy of the leprosy of the skin turning white does not exist among white people. Now tell me, if Moses is white and he sticks his hand into his vesture and pulls it out and it's still white, that's not a miracle.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it? If he's a white man and he puts his hand into his bosom, takes it out, and it's still white, that's not a miracle. That's just God saying that you're white. Right?
Yeah.
But if you're a black man, I take my black hand and put it into my bosom and take it out and it's white. That's a miracle. That's something I can see, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Especially with the fact that leprosy of white skin only happens among colored people. Out of the rivers, right? Now we just read, according to the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, that one of the dark races is Egyptian. So Egyptians are one of the dark races.
Right.
And if the Hebrews were white, how could they, in the Christian story, have plucked Moses out of the water and not know that he was Hebrew?
And how would they pass on Pharaoh as being an Egyptian?
And how could they pass, and how could they say, oh, this white baby is a black Egyptian baby?
Right.
And how could Christ have been from Rome?
Didn't even handle the curses.
Exactly. If Christ being an Israelite was white, right, being a Jew, if he was white, how could he have fled and hid in Egypt when he was born? He was born in Egypt. So how could Christ have hidden in the city of black people if he was white?
Herod was looking for them to kill.
Now see the real story of Moses, according to the book of Jasher, Moses was not mistaken for an Egyptian. In fact, he was raised knowing who his family was. However, his mother breastfed him, so he knew who his family was, and he knew he was a Hebrew. But when he went to Ethiopia, right? You know where he got his wife? When he went to Ethiopia, he was mistaken for an Egyptian.
Yes.
If Moses was white, you don't mistake a white man for a black man.
It's not possible. It's never possible.
Never happened. I'm sorry, but if a white man walked into Freetown right now, you would know he was white.
Yeah.
You're not gonna mistake him for a Sierra Leonean, will you? You're gonna be like, this guy's European. So how can an Ethiopian mistake a black man for a white man? or a white man for a black man. It doesn't happen. But like you said, beyond a shadow of a doubt, right?